I'm Clint Frazier. This is Yankees Access Prospects. I just remember when I was in T-ball, my mom was throwing to me in my front yard with a yellow Playmate bat when my dad was off at work. So I guess my mom taught me how to hit.
He was probably 18 months old. In the front yard, all he wanted was to play ball. He didn't do anything else. That's what we were doing in the front yard.
Coming home from work and seeing Kim outside with the wiffle ball bat and little wiffle ball out hitting in the front yard when I'd get home, and then him wanting to play on a team at, I think, right at 3 years old.
Ever since I can remember, he has always had a passion for the ball and the bat. Pretty much every memory I have involves baseball.
He just liked to hit the baseball hard. That's been his key since he was little. He wanted to hit it harder and farther than anybody.
Clint's love of the game flourished while playing baseball any opportunity that he could get. And in the 7th grade, he became the manager for the Loganville high school team.
I saw him as a manager in 7th grade. You know, we let him take BP one day, and he was parking balls over the fence.
It was fun. You know, I had been waiting for that day the whole season when he finally gave me the opportunity to hit on that field, and ultimately I performed the way that I thought I was going to.
And some of the varsity players were like, who is this guy? They thought, you know, he was a 9th grader. And, you know, they realized he was a manager. He caught everybody by surprise. I was anxious to get him to be a 9th grader.
It meant a lot to me because I am out there to try to prove myself to people, which is probably something I need to work on, but ultimately I wanted to show those guys that I'm here. Like, I can do this.
I mean, actually, we was just glad he made the team. Very exciting, very to see him up there at such a young age, but he earned every bit of it. It wasn't that I knew the coach or any favors. He worked his tail off to get there.
His ability to hit. I mean, he always had the power. Clint was a good hitter. I mean, you know, his bat speed, it was just, you know, way above, you know, guys that played at the high school level. And, you know, he was defensively, he was a little rough around the edges, but his bat made up for that, and he was an extremely hard worker. So he fit in real well here with his work ethic and it's how he played the game.
As Clint visits Loganville High School today, the memories that were made there are still vivid in his mind.
Big man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
From winning a state championship, being named the Gatorade National Player of the Year, and smashing one epic home run.
You know, we were playing Grayson, Austin Meadows. Biggest game. I mean, the place was like a state championship atmosphere. They had a Division I arm on the mound who could really throw it. And Clint hit a fastball, and it went over the fence, over the road, over the power line, and the top of the oak trees. It's the farthest baseball I've seen hit in high school. Everybody was going crazy. You know, Clint hit home runs that's what everybody expected. And but that type of home run the distance with that type of pitcher, it was definitely an electric moment.
It was probably the most intense game I've ever been a part of before I got to pro ball. And I just remember one going over the light post out there and over those trees. It was like a million miles back there, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of good memories on this field.
I knew he was good around here when the scouts would come into the house his senior year. But I'd ask the scouts. I said, you know, I can't put him up against a kid from Texas or California because I hadn't seen it. And they said, well, he's the real deal.
The Cleveland Indians select Clint Frazier, third baseman from Loganville High School, Loganville, Georgia.
After being drafted by Cleveland, Frazier quickly signed a contract and began his professional career in Arizona with the Indians rookie ball affiliate. Once his season ended, he returned to Georgia, where he found out his family had been going through some difficult times.
When I got back, I just remember asking my mom, and I remember just saying, where's Dad's truck? He had a company truck, and she was like, oh, it's in the shop. I was like, no, it's not. I said, that thing's been there for 2 weeks. It's not. Where is it? she said that he lost his job. My parents hid it from me because they wanted me to be able to focus on baseball, and I was thankful that they were thinking about me in that aspect, but I was also upset because I knew I could help.
It's like I told him, I said, Bubba, I said, daddies are supposed to take care of their sons. Sons are not supposed to take care of mom and daddy. And he said, well, as much as y'all have sacrificed for us, for me and his sister, he said, that's the least I can do. So it's very humbling to go through that, but very, very proud.
It's very humbling, you know, to have your child turn around and take care of you. You kind of feel like you're supposed to do that for them, but the word here was we didn't tell him. He had too much to concentrate on, so when he came home, we had to tell him, and literally the next day he came in and said, I've taken care of things, so he did something real nice for us.